Zionism, you are not being anti-Semitic. The Semites are the Palestinians. That's why I throw everybody, they go, well, you talk about the Rothschilds, you're just an anti-Semite. And I say, no, I like Arabs. And they go, huh? Because they don't get it because we're not being told these things. So the Rothschilds come from the Khazarians. One of the Zionists was Paul Warburg, a German banker who came over to the United States about 10 years before World War I, and by the time of the war, he had helped create the Federal Reserve System, and in fact was its first chairman. And during World War I, he was in charge of the funding for the United States for the war effort. Interestingly enough, his brother, Max Warburg, a German banker, was a co-founder of IG Farben, the giant chemical combine, helped arrange for the travel of Lenin through wartime Germany to take Russia out of the war, and was also a board member of the Hamburg America Steamship Line, along with Prescott Bush, all right, that was funding all of this. And he was the one who arranged in 1933 the transfer agreement between the Nazis and the Zionists, which basically resulted in the Holocaust. They said, look, you know, if you leave the top Jews alone and let us immigrate to Palestine, you can do what you want with the rest of them. So we got to both sides operating World War I, killed off the cream of young manhood in the United States, France, England, Germany. Okay, then we go into World War II, and I'll skip through this because any of y'all that saw my Rise of the Fourth Reich, you realize that it was Prescott Bush who was funding Hitler. It was John J. McCloy and National City Bank, largest lender of money to Hitler and the Nazi government, and the Nazis, again, working with the Zionists. All right, then we get to Korea, and we find out that Korea was run on both sides by Russian generals. One was advising the North Koreans, gave the word to attack South Korea, and the other Russian general was in charge of the United Nations office, which was in charge of the Allied war effort. So you got both sides working against the middle. You got Lyndon Johnson, his wise men, okay? This is all Council on Foreign Relations people, and if you've seen my talks on Rule by Secrecy, you know it all goes back to the same people. Council on Foreign Relations, this is one of the outfits that's running everything. Trilateral Commission is another. I love their logo. It just looks so much like a stylized swastika. And they, you know, it's the same bunch. Bilderberg, you know about the Bilderbergs. Now, this has all been proven, all right? We all know this, but it's now proven because in 2011, the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology studied, come back here, 43,000 multinational corporations and found that they were controlled by only 1,300 companies with interlocking directorship, and those 1,318 were controlled by 147 interlocking firms that totally control 60% of the global revenues. That is tight, central, controlled by a handful of people. And how do they do that? They do it through outfits like the Exchange Stabilization Fund. How many of y'all know about the Exchange Stabilization Fund? One. Good for you, sir. They do it. Here's a little known agency within the Treasury Department that is above the Constitution and U.S. laws, that controls the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, which pretty well sets the tone for all the other 11 Federal Reserve banks. It handles all the black budget for the CIA and the DIA and some of these other secret alphabet agencies. It was the architect of the more notorious of the money schemes, money handling schemes, such as the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, and has been directly involved in virtually every major U.S. scandal since its creation in 1934, including CIA drug trafficking, the Iran-Contra affair, and even the JFK assassination. And you haven't even heard of it.